Meantime, joining us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, he is the new quarterback for your Indianapolis Colts. Let's welcome Matt Ryan to the show. Matt, thank you for the time. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Now, let's talk about the whirlwind this has been. When did it become, in your mind, more than just, well, maybe I'll go there, maybe I won't? When did it come in your mind an absolute that you were going to be here in Indy?
Yeah, I think, Sunday, Monday. Monday obviously went down, but Sunday, had real conversations with, a lot of people that I'm close to, talking about, what they thought, what I thought, where we were at. So sometime around that point, my wife and I really had the conversation that it was time. And we're so excited to be here and to, be part of an organization that has an incredible history and a fan base that is so passionate and loyal. And we're fired up to kind of be in this city and be part of it.
So Matt Ryan joins us. Did it take much of a sales job from Chris or Frank or even Jim, for that matter, to make this situation, that trade, and you wanting to be here, Matt, possible?
No, I had a great meeting with them, prior to this happening, and knew a lot about the roster just from, being in the league and seeing how good, they have built this thing. They're so good on defense. Darius is an incredible player and incredibly, physical, and you kind of feel his presence when you play against him. And, special teams have been rock solid here. You look at the offensive line, Jonathan Taylor in the backfield of what he can do is impressive. And Michael Pittman Jr. and Mo Alley Cox. I mean, the roster has a lot of players, that fire you up. And I just wanted to make sure, I meshed with Frank and with Chris. And to me, that was like 5 minutes into the conversation. I felt really good about it. And so it didn't take much.
But what do they emphasize that's important for them in how you run this offense here, Matt?
Well, I think, they look at it, Frank looks at it through the quarterback's eyes, and every one of them's a little bit different. But I think he's got a really unique perspective of having played the position, been around it for so long, coached so many different guys, of how to make it work. I think this offensive line is built, number one, to run the football, number two, to protect. And they do an excellent job with it. We've got a running back that is second to nobody in this league and has the ability to take it to the house at any time, but also catch the ball out of the backfield, pass protect. It's just they sold it as just there's a lot of parts that you'd like to work with, and not only are they great players, but they're great guys and they do things the right way. And but I'm looking forward to getting to meet with Frank and really talk X's and O's and how we're going to do things and what that's going to look like for us moving forward.
He is Matt Ryan, the new quarterback of the Colts on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. This is kind of more a little bit personal for you. How has the last week been? And the reason why I ask is a little over 10 years ago, I sat at a press conference and I watched the disconnection of the Manning era happen before me, and it still seems surreal today. And I'm assuming that a little bit of that feeling leaving a team that you have been with for so long, is it still a bit surreal that you're with another team now after so many years in Atlanta?
No doubt that it's a bit of, you have to pinch yourself because you've been in the same place for so long, so many people, so many familiar faces, so many of those things are a huge part of your life, and then when it changes quickly, and so there's now so many new things, so many new people, so many new faces. And so it's a bit bittersweet in that, that one part of it's over, but I'm just so excited about, the new challenge, the new opportunity in front of me, being in a new place and getting to work with new people, in a place that I think is really well run and has a great locker room with good people and great players. So, the excitement, for sure, is starting to kick in, and I can't wait to get started.
Did you follow media reports about what was going on with Atlanta and these other teams over the past week, or did you just let your representation handle that and you kind of disconnect from it as it was going down?
Yeah. I did. I don't follow the social media, like, especially during situations like this. I think, it could drive you insane. And so, I checked in with my representation frequently, but just kind of let them handle it, see where I was at, and try and get the most accurate information I could get.
Seems like you have a hell of a plan right there. That's sorted out, planned out really well by you right there, Matt Ryan. He does join us. I saw where your contract was restructured. This is maybe a two-parter for you. Was that a given going in? When did you guys come to that resolution? And are you for sure in? Your contract is for 2 years. Are you for sure in, and you feel as if you can absolutely give this team 2 years, if not more?
I say if not more. I feel like I'm in a great spot. I feel like, I've learned how to take care of my body, and I'm coming in, fresh and ready to go. But, I've always had that drive. I want to play until I'm 40 or past. And, I'm not great at math, but it's more than 2 years. And so, hopefully we can be productive and it can be a really fun run here for the next, 2 and hopefully beyond.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, and I'm sure that, in your early conversations, there are expectations that come here. Those expectations, I'm assuming also you've had a conversation with the owner. They start with the owner right there, and they kind of just trickle on down to everybody else.
Absolutely. And I love that. If you're not going to have high expectations of yourself, and what you demand from yourself, I just don't think you're going to be successful in life or in this business. And so, I love being around people with that high expectations, a high level of self-belief. I certainly fall into that category. And so, I love it. I want, I'm at that point in my career where it's about winning and really about nothing else other than winning. And, to hear that the people in the decision-making roles are, in this organization are very much wired that way, it's perfect. And I couldn't be happier to be, in a place where there is expectation and there is a high level of belief that we can get the job done.
So Matt Ryan's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You put up mammoth numbers over the course of your career, and you go back 5 or so years. Let's go to the wheelhouse of where you're putting up those mammoth numbers. Has anything changed for you that you look back 5 years ago when you put up those numbers compared to right now? Have you changed at all as a player? Because, Matt, we all change at some point with what we do over age. I mean, it's just what you have to do. What has changed at all for you over the past 5 years, and where are you compared to that player right now 5 years ago?
I still feel, from a physical standpoint right there, a lot of things change. In this league, it's different players, it's different coaches, it's injury, it's all those kind of things that can happen. And ultimately, it's a team game, and production comes from all of those spots. And but I still, personally feel like I'm in a really good place. Body feels good, mind is on point, and the drive to be, the best I can be is there. And so I feel like I'm in a good place. I feel like I'm in an organization that is doing things the right way, that has a locker room with really good players, guys that want to win. And so I just can't wait to get started. But, as far as me, I feel really good. I know you got to run here, but really quick, how many of the players and who have you talked to since the trade was done and you're here now being the quarterback with the Colts? Yeah, I've talked to a lot of them. It was funny. I had paperwork when the news got announced yesterday. I still had paperwork that I had to sign on my end in Atlanta. And Chris Ballard said, hey, I'm going to send you a list of guys to reach out to or whatever. And I said, okay, perfect. I just need to finish this paperwork up and I'll get right to it. And about a half hour later, I went back to my phone to kind of text it. And I already had about 15 or 20 texts from guys here on the team, just letting me know, they were excited I was coming and can't wait to get started. So they beat me to the punch a little bit on reaching out, but I think it speaks to where these guys' mindsets are at, and what they want to accomplish, and that fires me up. I want to be a part of that.
Well, I'm an advocate of a couple of things here as I let you go. One is utilizing even more number 21 on your team, and also I'm trying to get you more weapons. So I'm going to sit here for 3 hours a day talking about more weapons.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
You do your job.
Yeah, just more weapons.
We'll see how it shakes out.
And I think your boss gets tired of hearing it from this station at times, but then he'll just have to turn the damn thing off. That's what he's going to have to do. Hey, congratulations on the move, and nothing but the best to you. And hopefully we catch up with you. Assuming at some point around camp or so. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.